Salem homicide. A woman is dead in her home from gunshot wounds, and police say the shooter already admitted his guilt.
Sunny Savings, one Utah organization, is on a power trip. They want solar panels on Utah County roofs.
And uphill climb. One teenager turned his trials at home into triumph on the world's tallest mountain. I'm Karen Sullivan.
And I'm Kristen Firmage. It's Monday, March 25th, and in Utah, it's 12 o'clock.
From KBYU and the BYU Department of Communications. This is the award-winning 11 News at noon.
Police have a Salem man in custody who they say shot and killed his wife. Police tell us that 47-year-old Tracy Aaron Scott called 911 himself to report the Saturday shooting and admitted pulling the trigger. When officers arrived at the home on 3rd South in Salem, they found 45-year-old Teresa Scott dead. They took Tracy Scott into custody and booked him in the Utah County Jail. Salem police say the couple had a history of domestic problems, and they think Tracy Scott acted alone.
A West Jordan man is dead after the rope swing he attached to a natural arch slammed him into the ground. Officials say 22-year-old Kyle Stocking and friends had fashioned the swing on Corona Arch near Moab, but made the rope too long. Stocking died instantly. The arch is on BLM land, and they banned swinging off it last year. Provo Municipal Airport will be without a manned control tower in a matter of weeks, thanks to the federal sequester. This is right on the heels of Allegiant Air announcing their expanding commercial air service here. The Provo and Ogden towers are both on a new FAA list that shuts down funding for them early next month. The airports will stay open as Congress works on solutions, but pilots can still contact the Salt Lake Control Tower if they need help.
Imagine what it would be like to cut your power bills by about $600 every year. 11 News reporter Ali Monson shows us how one Utah organization is trying to generate a new way to save on utilities.
The Utah Valley Earth Forum is holding meetings throughout Utah County to spread the word. They want people to start using solar energy to power their homes. There is just one problem, though.
It's a large initial investment, and a lot of people just don't have the means to necessarily do that.
But that's where the Utah Community Solar Program comes in. The goal of the program is to make solar energy as affordable as possible by getting a large group of people to make the change all at once. The bigger the group they can get, the cheaper they say it will be.
Intermountain Wind and Solar is the company offering this group price. They recommend anywhere between 12 and 16 solar panels per household. And as you can see, each solar panel is about 3 feet wide by 6 feet long.
More than 100 people showed up to the first meeting. Since then, people have come to leaders of the project with questions and concerns.
Priorities are making sure that aesthetically it looks well, along with helping them identify how much solar they might need.
A pilot program in Salt Lake showed that people do have a lot of interest. They were able to cut the price of going solar there by 40%. The Utah County Group's goal is to get at least 25 people to sign up. But the power company says they will try to negotiate a good price for the people involved either way. In Provo, Ali Monson, 11 News.
If you're interested in going solar, the next meeting will be this Thursday at the Orem Senior Friendship Center at 6:30 p.m.
An elementary school principal is facing charges that he accessed porn websites while on school grounds. West Valley police say that 51-year-old Chad Allen Christman admitted during questioning that he was using a school district smartphone to surf porn. It is a Class A misdemeanor charge, and the district put a temporary principal in place at Gerald L. Wright Elementary as police investigate. City Creek Center in Salt Lake City celebrated its first-year anniversary. Managers say that the mall has exceeded their traffic and sales goals the past year. 11 News reporter Roger Sanchez was there to find out why they've been so successful.
In just 1 year alone, the sales have been booming, and City Creek plans to open even more stores and restaurants in the very near future. City Creek opened its doors at the same time in 2012. 1 year later, many community leaders, including Governor Gary Herbert, were there not only to celebrate their first year of retailing, but also to mention how the mall is a symbol of the growing economy here in Utah.
We are growing our business, we're growing our economy. This City Creek development here is a symbol of that industry, of that economic expansion that's taking place.
City Creek estimates more than 16 million people visited the center during the last 12 months. It will continue to add and open its doors to new tenants, one including Microsoft, which will open next month.
I'm very pleased to say that we are so excited to be a part of the City Creek Center. City Creek Center is one of the best shopping destinations in the United States.
Since the opening of the mall, Salt Lake City issued 600 new business licenses and welcomed 800 new households to downtown. Leaders say Salt Lake's unique brand of hospitality is a big part of City Creek's success.
I think the thing that has honestly surprised me the most about opening City Creek Center is the way that the community has so warmly embraced us.
The Utah State Mayor's office mentioned that City Creek's success is evidence of Utah rising from the Great Recession and moving forward, as they are able to see people returning to shopping and returning to investing and growing. The International Property Awards named the City Creek Center development the best retail development in the USA. Kristen and Karen?
111 News at noon returns. Florida flurries. A massive storm in the Sunshine State gives irony to its name and leaves thousands without power.
And Moolah Madness. Businesses in Salt Lake are making bank thanks to college hoops fans coming to town. Stay with us.
Days after Chipotle Mexican Grill pulled its sponsorship of a Boy Scout Jamboree because of the ban on openly gay members and leaders, another restaurant is stepping up to take Chipotle's place. Winger's Roadhouse Grill says it will provide about $4,000 worth of meals to Scouts. Winger says it too values diversity and will give equal support to LGBT high schoolers by contributing to a prom for them next month. The U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments today of two gay marriage cases, one involving the Defense of Marriage Act and another on California's Proposition 8. A group of gay marriage advocates want the court to grant them standing so they can represent the law in California's place after the state decided not to defend it. If the court doesn't grant the group standing, they can refuse to hear the case and Prop 8 will remain unconstitutional.
A huge storm wrecks areas of Florida. Postal employees protest changes to delivery schedules, and a special needs teen is celebrating a monumental achievement. Here's your look at news from across the nation. People in Florida are spending their Monday cleaning up after a heavy weekend storm. The storm drowned trees, knocked out power to homes and businesses, and made a big mess of roads. Strong winds uprooted more than 200 trees in Florida County alone. Crews are still working to restore power to more than 1,700 homes in the Orlando area. The community in Michigan is protesting the end of Saturday mail service. This comes after the U.S. Postal Service announced its plans to limit mail service to just weekdays. Workers say the changes will affect small businesses in rural areas that depend on Saturday deliveries and could also lead to more Postal Service cuts. But the post office officials say that the change will save them $2 billion a year. And a crowd of supporters gathered at the Los Angeles airport to celebrate an Oregon teen's climb to new heights. 15-year-old Eli Reamer is the first person with Down syndrome to climb to the Mount Everest base camp. Eli made the 70-mile trek with his father and 6 others in an effort to raise money and awareness for children with special needs. And that's your look at news from across the nation. Karen?
Salt Lake City is basking in the Benjamins after hosting several games for the NCAA basketball tournament at the Energy Solutions Arena. We have 11 News reporter John Hansen in the newsroom to tell us how hosting the games impacted the local economy. John?
You know, if you were in Salt Lake over the weekend, you would have had a hard time missing all of the crowds and the stores that were literally jam-packed with people as they came to support their basketball team.
To most people, the month of March means basketball, and for those living in Salt Lake City, it is no exception as the Energy Solutions Arena played host to numerous games for the NCAA tournament. But what really had locals excited was that long lines at the games meant more money for neighboring businesses.
We've definitely seen an increase in sales over the last couple of days. You can always tell because they're wearing their game apparel or their favorite team sweatshirt or hat or whatever. So we've seen an increase on that, and we love it. We love having them in town.
Not only did the tournament keep restaurants hopping, but the thousands of fans visiting from all over the country kept hotel rooms, parking lots, and shopping malls full.
Tourist shoppers are very important to our success. 30% of our retailers' sales come from people who live more than 50 miles away from the center.
Economists predict that the increase in customers pumped anywhere from $4 to $6 million into the local economy, giving stores a much welcome boost to their business.
We love visiting shoppers because they buy and they don't bring returns back. And honestly, what we really hope is that they have a great experience, that they tell their friends, and that they come back another day.
Now, the City Council said they'll be doing an analysis of the games to see what impact the games actually had on the local economy. Live in the newsroom, John Hansen, 11 News.
John, don't you think it's too bad that we couldn't have Utah teams playing in the tournament?
You know, I always wish that the Cougars would have made it up there. However, economists say that having no Utah teams is actually beneficial because those coming from out of town are bringing more money because of all the places they're staying and eating at.
Wow, thanks, John.
All right, Brenna, I need you to lie to me a little bit and tell me it's going to be at least 80 degrees this week.
Tell me it's going to get warm.
Did you say 80? Because I really can't promise that, but I'll tell you what, 60 degrees is not a bad compromise for the last week in March. Your 11 weather when we return. Hey, let's play a game. Guess what month of the year this shot was taken, because I don't believe it was March. It's pretty cold this time of year. You see snow on the mountains, there's a ton of clouds, and there's brown all over the valley. We are having a very cold March. Let me show you the numbers. The range so far in March 2013, we've been as warm as 74 and as low as 19. That's really cold. We've had 11 days with a low lower than 32 degrees. That's freezing. And we set 10 new records just yesterday. 10 cities in the northern part of Utah set records for the lowest low. Most of those are the ski resorts, so they were actually pretty happy to have those temperatures. But hey, this is a big year. This is a big month for 2013 in terms of temperatures. But we are warming up outside in Provo right now, 34 degrees. Humidity is 55. That's going to keep on climbing, but we shouldn't see any precipitation for the rest of the day. And wind speed's pretty variable at 3 miles per hour. As the night hits, we'll see some more clouds come in over the sky, so pretty cloudy this evening. Sunset at 7:46 p.m. and our low is 34 degrees. That's pretty cold. But like I said, we shouldn't see any snow on the ground tomorrow morning or any freezing rain to stop our commutes. So you should be able to enjoy the day tomorrow. So here's some temperatures in Utah. We're seeing some cloudy conditions all across the state with a little bit of sunshine in most of the major cities. The eastern part of the state is seeing a weather advisory right now as a system moves through that missed most of the state. So they do have a chance of snow and rain on the east side of the state. But hey, 50s in the Wasatch Front, 58 in Cedar City, and our warmest so far, St. George, 72. That's the way it's supposed to be in March. Southern Utah, you have just mostly sunny skies for the whole week. The warmest day is going to be Tuesday at 77, and the weekend's actually looking pretty nice past this 5-day forecast. The lows are really nice this time of year, so this is definitely National Park Week. You should definitely be there in Southern Utah to enjoy these gorgeous temperatures. Northern Utah is not going to fare too bad either. We don't have too much precipitation in the forecast. We actually have a chance of rain on Wednesday and on Friday. They're looking at only like 20% though, so I didn't even bother putting on here. It might just breeze past us. We're also seeing 60s throughout the week, which should mean that the end of the week should warm up just a little bit more. But, you know, warmer temperatures, that also means a little more pollen in the air. So if you have allergies, be aware.
Getting out the tissues?
Exactly.
No.
Oh, that's good to know and be aware of. I'm glad I don't have that problem personally, but thanks, Brenna.
Danny, I know my bracket has been doing really well, but it's been an upset.
I think you're the only one whose bracket is doing well. I don't even want to talk about mine. It's awful. Next on sports, Cougars continue. The women are doing work in the postseason to the tune of 2 NIT wins so far. And bracket busters, March has meant upset city for college basketball. That was good news for 115 seed and not so good news for a WCC rival. Sports is next. Stay tuned. Spring is officially here, which means baseball. And when you live in Utah, snow. The BYU baseball team showed us just how tough they were, playing up a storm against Kansas this weekend. After a short snow delay, starting pitcher Jeff Barker finished the first with a strikeout. The Cougars' defense was sharp. They ended a threat in the second with a nice 1-2 punch, going 6-4-3 for the double play. With the bases juiced and nobody out in third, Jacob Brugman singled to the left. Kansas left fielder Michael Suter can't come up with it. That would score 2 to give the Cougs a 3-0 lead. A couple of innings later, some good fundamental baseball from Brett Lopez scored Adam Law. The BYU bullpen went 4 strong to seal a Cougar victory 6-3. and they take the series 2-1. The second round of the WNIT proved to be a great game for the BYU Cougars as they took on San Diego State here in Provo. Keilani Unga opened the game with a nice drive, and it wasn't long before Haley Steed started showing her steves, knocking down shots and making plays that added up to 13 points and 6 assists on the night. The Aztecs' answer, senior guard Courtney Clements, wasn't going down without a fight, but couldn't keep the Cougs from scoring. Kim Parker-Beeson couldn't miss. She was the leading scorer of the night with 17 points, and as usual, Jennifer LeBron-Hampson wasn't about to be outdone, ending the night with her 6th double-double of the season, racking up 17 rebounds and 10 points. The Cougs conquered the Aztecs, but Aztecs are used to that, right? Beating them 69-58 to advance to the third round of the tournament. The second round of the men's NIT tips off tonight with the Cougars taking on Mercer in the Marriott Center. BYU is a 3 seed and Mercer is a 7, but as we all know, it's anyone's game during tournament season. Mercer upset the 2 seed Tennessee last week to advance to tonight's game, but BYU is also coming off of a big win against Washington. Mercer has a 24-11 record this year, and if they get the W tonight, it will be Coach Bob Hoffman's 500th career win, 100th as head coach of the Mercer program. The Bears average 66 points a game while only allowing 58. But if BYU hits their season average 77 points a game, they have a good chance to keep going this postseason. Game time is set for 7 p.m. It's March, so you all know what's coming next. NCAA basketball. The tournament is in full swing, and we have officially cut the 68 qualifying teams into a remaining 16. Upset is the name of the game, and Gonzaga fans were just that after their shocking loss to Wichita State Shockers in Salt Lake. The highly touted 1 seed couldn't make it to the Sweet 16. Just goes to show that on any given day, a 9 seed can shoot 50% to take down the top dogs. Shockers advanced with this 76-70 win. On the other side, Florida Gulf Coast continued its Cinderella run, and like any good fairy tale, they did it in style. No one should care that they put our brackets up in flames because they did put on a show, throwing down dunk after dunk. FGCU is the first 15 seed to ever make it to the Sweet 16 with the 87-71 victory. Pretty impressive for their tournament debut. Next, they'll look to reprise their role as spoilers against Florida. You know, the only reason I think anyone would have ever picked FCGU was because of their uniforms.
And their hair. They had some good hair. I saw their hair.
I know. That's awesome that they won.
They look good.
Yeah, doing great. Still to come on 11 News at noon. Lights out. Some of the world's biggest cities went pitch black for an hour. We'll tell you why when we come back.
Every year, the world celebrates Earth Day with events to raise awareness about protecting the environment. But do you know what do you know about Earth Hour? 11 News reporter Randall Vaudry shows us how the world went dark for 60 minutes.
3, 2, 1. The Worldwide Fund for Nature held its first Earth Hour in 2007, when more than 2 million Australians turned off the lights in Sydney to bring attention to global climate change. 2 days ago at 8:30 p.m. local time, more than 150 countries around the world joined in on the darkness. Joining the land down under were cities like Paris, Seoul, Moscow, and Las Vegas. Countries like New Caledonia and the Philippines went above and beyond simply turning out the lights, holding public celebrations and festivals. Singaporeans even got their groove on, dancing to Power Earth Hour. Now, whether we can actually see the long-term effects of powering down for 60 minutes, there's no doubt you can see the short term. Randall Vaudry, 11 News.
Maybe we should try that for Earth Day. Just turn out all the lights. It would save us some electricity power. Or
we could do the news in the dark.
That's true.
There we go. Right? There's light outside. There's natural light outside.
Yeah,
right?
we'll be okay.
We don't look as good in natural light. But
no,
I look great in natural light.
You guys look great in everything. I don't know.
That's 11 News at noon for Monday, March 25th.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.